Hello, my name is Steve, I'm a little bit thirsty, and I feel like showing you how to make a really good cup of tea. Sound good? Follow me. Now I know what you must be thinking. Tea, that's that stuff that comes in those little dangly tea bags, and all I have to do is put it in a cup of hot water and bam, I have myself a cup of tea. Now yes, that's true, you can make tea that way, but the truth is, the quality of tea isn't really that good. There's a lot of stems in here. This is basically tea swag. So if you really want a good cup of tea, you have to start with the tea itself. And I'm going to show you what good tea is. And good tea is this stuff. If I spread a little out here, you'll notice it doesn't look anything like what's in our little bag here. If I hold it up to the camera, you can get a good look and see that this is pretty crumbly. It looks exactly like crumbs. Again, tea swag. This down here is good tea bud. You can see it looks completely different. Inside the bag here, it kind of looks like powder. It looks like dust, it looks like crumbs, it looks like, it doesn't look as good. This is actually tiny tea leaves, all bunched up, very small, very tasty, whole lot more flavor in this than you'll ever get in that little tea bag. Tea bag. Now you're probably thinking, where do I get this fancy tea? I can't find this stuff at the Stop & Shop or at the Shaw's or at any of the supermarkets. Where does it come from? Truth is, you kind of have to shop around. You can go online, find good tea there, or if you want, right here in Rhode Island, there's a really good store at the Providence Place Mall called Teavana. Discovered it the other day. It's where I got this stuff, and they have a very nice selection of teas and herbal drinks. Obviously, tea in the form you just saw, all crumbled up like that and loose, you can't just throw in a cup of water and let it steep and then still have it be drinkable. It's going to be filled with tea leaves. You need something a bit more specific. That's what brings us to the proper equipment. I prefer something like this for brewing tea. It is called a French press. I know, fun name. Sounds a little naughty. And this is how it works. Take a closer look at it, we can see how it works better. You see, it's basically a big tea kettle. Nothing more than that. All you do, you fill hot water in here, place your tea leaves in the bottom, and it allows the tea to expand. When it's in those little tea bags, it really can't expand. That's another reason why it's all crumbly, because there's really nothing to expand. Tea leaves, however, when they get wet, they get bigger, they release their flavors, and that's pretty much how the whole process works. And you can't do that properly unless you have enough room. So something like this is ideal. And I'll show you how to use it now. This is how you use a French press. And you may have noticed I switched to the smaller travel size version. I like it much more than the bigger one, as it only makes 1 cup instead of an entire large amount that I am just never able to finish. First things first, you're going to want to remove the top. That's rather obvious. Second, add tea. This is really complicated. If you need me to slow down, feel free to say so. The recommended amount for this tea, which by the way, I should tell you what type of tea it is. Got it right here on the lid. I don't know if you can read that. It says Copper Knot Hong Cha. Now that is a black tea. Black teas tend to be a lot more robust than green tea, which pretty much everyone's familiar with. They have a bit more caffeine, very strong flavor. You do not want to brew this stuff for very long. The recommended time is 2 to 3 minutes. Any longer than that, it gets really bitter and just nasty. Actually, you don't really want to brew any tea for more than 5 minutes. If you're not sure, simply go online. It's not hard to find that out. Anyway, what you want to do, take your French press, and the recommended amount is 1 teaspoon. So I put 1 teaspoon in there, and I actually like it on the stronger side. Almost lost that. I like it on the stronger side, so I usually go 2 teaspoons. And put my tea away here, put the lid back on. All right, that's the easy part. Here's the difficult part, making water hot. There's many ways to make water hot. The way I prefer is with this big white box called the microwave. It's pretty simple. All you do is you take your water and you put it in and you close the door. And now this is the extra tricky hard part, pushing buttons. Now I should take another moment and tell you that black tea, like what we're making tonight, likes to be hot, about 195 degrees, 200 degrees. You do not want to go over boiling, which is 212 degrees, by the way, if you did not know that. Other teas, such as oolong, which is a little less robust than black tea, but one of my favorites nonetheless, likes to be about 190 degrees. Green tea does best at 150 to 160. Rooibos teas, they're common from Africa. They're an herbal tea. They're not actually tea, but they're drank like tea, so they count as tea. They need to be boiling as well. Any other herbal teas, they also need to be about boiling temperature or very hot to the touch. You basically do not want to feel comfortable if you touch that type of water. Whereas green teas and white teas, the most delicate of them, the water should feel warm to the touch. That's how you know it's about 150, 160, which is ideal for them. Right, so I'm going to set my water here for... I find about 3 minutes and 56 seconds is the right temperature for my particular microwave oven right here. You may have to play around with your own microwave ovens to find what temperature works best. But once again, 3 minutes, 56 seconds does perfect. Alright, now my water is nice and hot. Again, you really don't want to touch this. It's extremely hot. That should be obvious to you. Now, take your tea, take your water, pour it in, all the way to the top. Already you can see this is darker than most teas. You can see the leaves beginning to open. They're getting nice and happy. Go ahead, put the lid on here. And now you want to wait. About 3 minutes, no longer than that. Alright, it's been 3 minutes. It is now time to pour our tea. All you do is push down the top on the French press. That takes all the leaves, squishes them right down there to the bottom. Pour it out, and once again, this probably doesn't look like any cup of tea you've seen before. It's very, very dark. Most teas kind of a copper color, even golden. This, it is red. Fill her up there. And there you have it, my secret to making a really good cup of tea. Cheers.